This week we're going to be talking about poetry. I grew up in Los Angeles, and I went to a really rough middle school where people were not nice. The kids were not nice. So I wrote a poem about how I used to get made fun of, and for my nose, and what it was like to go from a really chill, cool elementary school where everyone was really nice to this middle school. So here we go. Fade into the scene. White Honda Accord. That's my mom's car. Dropping him off to Palms Junior High School, LA. Oh Lord. They call me Big Nose. Chunk of meat, thicker than average. Big Nose. Kids smell weak, so act savage. I grew up in a chill school, but this one is awful. Kids diss like a sport, each one holding court. Who's the target? Who's about to get broke down? Damn, it's me. Damage me. Talking ish about my nose. They call me Big Nose. Smell the coffee in Colombia. Big Nose. How's he hold his head up with that weight? Big Nose. Just wait. I used to box with my dad. He told me how to hit. That's it, Louis. Throw your whole body into it. He's Mexican. Big Nose, come on. You're small but feisty. Big Nose. Need to give a if they like me. Might got a big nose, but what's up with your hair? Don't gotta have a big nose to smell your BO over there. Your rhymes are BS. Be sure to check your breath. Ran out of crest, I guess. This falls off my tongue. Could tell from the O's that the disses had stung. Their eyebrows raised. Alright man, you get props. Hands go up, dude walks away. Big Nose finally won this day. So now let's go to a slideshow that I created about the different kinds of poems that you can do. Hopefully one of them will speak to you and excite you. So poetry, when words shake loose from sentences and dive around the page for attention. What we'll do at the end is I'm going to show you a very special easy poetry formula. Easy poetry formula. So that you too can write a poem with not too much effort, but a lot of creativity. So here's a short poem by Tupac Shakur. Life through my eyes. Life through my bloodshot eyes would scare a square to death. Poverty, murder, violence, and never a moment to rest. Fun and games are few, but treasured like gold to me, because I realize that I must return to my spot in poverty. But mark my words when I say my heart will not exist unless my destiny comes through and puts an end to all of this. So poetry can be short, poetry can be long. I'll read a little section of Elijah's poem from the 7th grade. Walls around me, sunlight only through glass, moon only through glass, air but not fresh, life that feels like death. Trapped when I'm free, lost with questions unanswered, fogged from confusion, darkened by loss. Eggs, bacon, pancakes, it's a routine. Dinner by 6, it's a routine. Shower at 7, it's a routine. Homework daily, it's a routine. Read the rest on the slideshow I post. Poetry can take shape. Look how this shoe was traced, and then around the shoe poem takes place. So I like sports, running sports, jumping sports, kicking, shooting, passing sports, any kind of sports. And it goes around and around. So feel free to trace an object that inspires you and write a poem about it. Here's another example of a dog. Poetry can be deep, can be funny, but it can also be very deep. So here's another poem by a 7th grader, Devin. No one knew you were coming. You move in silence. You brought on heat to people's bodies. You move in silence. You brought on a cough. You move in silence. You weigh heavily on people's chest, taking people's last breath. You move in silence. You can read the rest on the slideshow. Poetry can also be silly. Lazy, 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 lazy Jane. She wants a drink of water, so she waits and waits and waits and waits and waits for it to rain. These are called acrostic poems. Might have heard of them. And this one spells hamburger vertically up and down. Happy, right off the barbecue. Always best with bacon. Mustard is mighty nice. Bacon. Usually cheese makes it better. Relish makes me gag. Great with a fresh cooked fries. Everyone loves bacon. Really, I just want bacon. Poetry, of course, can be spoken.
You are about to hear a strange but true story. Legend has it, Harry Houdini, the master magician, once claimed that he could break out of any jail cell in the world. All he had to do was walk into that jail cell with his street clothes on.
So you'll have to watch the slideshow in order to hear the rest of this poem, this spoken word poem. So here's your assignment. Choose a social issue and write a poem. Your social issue could be any of the ones we talked about, so you can go on Techbrarian and review some of the videos and that we posted and some of the projects that were already created by students. So smoking, animal abuse, LGBTQ plus IA pride. You could talk about COVID-19 and how you're feeling, what you're experiencing. Talk about immigration, plastic pollution, domestic violence. So I'm going to give you an easy way.
This is the easy poetry formula.
Easy poetry formula. Brought to you by Dr. Lahana. So step one is you're going to take a paragraph you've already written. You can write your own now, but it's easy to just pick something you've already written. Then break the sentences up into new lines. Delete unimportant words. And then bonus, you can add colors or emojis. So let me show you an example. This is a written paragraph that I just wrote. It says, non-human animals are abused in so many ways. We don't think of ourselves as animals. Instead, we see them as different from us, things to be owned. We feel like we can do anything we want to them. We test cosmetics on 100 million rabbits and monkeys each year. We keep cows, pigs, and chickens in dark cages where they can't move or breathe fresh air. We slaughter 72 billion animals each year for our food. Why is that okay for one animal to do this to another? So sometimes essays feel boring or are boring to read, but you can spice it up by creating a poem out of it. Break up the words into new lines. Delete ones that are unimportant. So here we go. Non-human animals, abused in so many ways. We don't think of ourselves as animals. They are things we own. We can do anything we want to them. Test cosmetics, notice the emojis, on 100 million, rabbit emoji, and monkeys, keep in dark cages, all these cows, chickens, and pigs, and notice the box I created around it. These are the things that you can do to play around. Can't move or breathe fresh air, slaughter, 72 billion each year for our food. Why is that okay? So maybe when you look at this poem, it's a little more interesting than reading an essay. I think it is. So go ahead and create your own poetry. You can write a paragraph, break it up into new lines, delete unimportant words, and add colors or emojis. Can't wait to see what you create.